Hi everybody, welcome to the Chats with Children. I hope you're safe and well. Today I'm delighted to be joined by Rochelle Allen, who is the brand director for Hanson Wades' upcoming CAR TCR Summit, which is being held at the Hynes Convention Centre in Boston this coming September the 29th, September the 19th, I should say, to the 22nd. So we're going to get a bit of a preview of what people can expect if they attend the event. So Rochelle, first of all, it's lovely to see you. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you so much for having me. And yeah, definitely excited for the return of the CAR TCR Summit to Boston. The first time in 3 years that this event is going to be running in person. The last physical event was 2019, so definitely excited to have everyone, back in the room, networking again, having that face-to-face time. So really looking forward to it.
Brilliant. Yeah. Well, actually, I did see you briefly earlier in February when you had the London event, and that seemed to be very well attended and busy as well. But I know that's on a much smaller scale to what you can expect in Boston. So my first question to you really is, why is there a need for a standalone CAR TCR event? I mean, how important is CAR TCR in terms of therapies now within life science and pharma?
Yeah, no, it's a really good question. And I think it really boils down to when we think about the number of patients that, are suffering from really kind of complex disease indications. So thinking about patients suffer with, I guess when you first look at cancer, for example, we've got different types of cancer. We've got liquid tumors, we've got solid tumors, and really there are really critically ill patients that are in desperate need of, long-lasting curative therapies. And some of these patients have gone through, loads of different treatments already, and then they get to CAR and TCR cell therapies, and it kind of just opens up a doorway for hope for them to kind of have this kind of treatment that can prolong their lives and end up curing them. Actually, we're celebrating now 10 years of the first patient being treated with CAR T therapy. So the first pediatric patient was called Emily. It's called Emily Whitehead, and obviously she's now cured. She's been in 10 years remission. So it's really exciting, the potential that these therapies have to make really long-lasting impacts on their life. And this is this meeting is really at the forefront, spearheading that conversation. We have really kind of unique conversations and allow for kind of unique networks to be formed at this meeting to then enable these treatments to be pushed into the clinics, actually meet the patients that need them. So yeah, really excited to bring this back and allow for those conversations and kind of spearhead that progression for this industry along as well.
Brilliant. So look, for those people who are not familiar with the CAR TCR Summit though, can you give us a quick overview of the summit in terms of its format, what tracks you have, and also the structure of the event as well? Because I know it's sort of split up into different things throughout the
Yeah.
3 days as well.
So this year is actually our biggest format ever. So we've got 4 days of the conference. We've got a pre-conference workshop day. We have a boot camp day, so one-on-one boot camp for those that are new to the field and want to kind of get a bit ahead of the meeting and get a bit more understanding of the space before they kind of launch into the 8 tracks at the main conference. Then we have the 8 tracks of content at the main conference. So we have 3 main conference days, and that's split into a discovery track, a translation track. We have a clinical management track, early phase development, manufacturing, CMC, and then we have a supply chain logistics track, and then also a kind of market access track. So a lot of different parallel tracks there, but really this meeting means that, no matter what part of the drug development chain you're at, there is something for everyone. So that is one of the really unique and special things with this meeting, that kind of end-to-end content covering a wide variety of topics as well.
Well, you sort of preempted my next question, which is what makes it unique to other events, so which is fine. But in terms of the people then who you would expect to be there, who you're targeting the event at, who are they?
Yeah, that's a good question as well. So it really is, we're kind of uniting the kind of long-standing commercial CAR T players. So, those that were there right at the beginning of this space kind of taking off, thinking about those that were there from the start, but then also taking it to, those that are joining the space now. We've got every few months, every week almost, we've got kind of new companies that are coming out of stealth mode. We've got, industry pioneers that are taking the therapies to new heights. So we have those individuals let's say, that were on the kind of first generation of the CAR T therapies, and then those that are kind of bringing in new technologies, new tools, new breakthrough innovations to really take it to new heights and bring in those next generations of the CAR T therapies as well. So really and truly, it is kind of covering every job title, every person that is within this field really has something to see at the meeting, and then thinking about, you know, when they are attending, they can then unite and kind of learn lessons from each other. So thinking about, you know, how far the cell therapy field has come from the beginning, where we are now, and what lessons can we learn. So there's a real kind of specialty to having both those that have been there from the start, and then also those that are just joining the space to network and converse and kind of bounce ideas off each other to really push forward that future of cell therapy as well.
Right. Now, I can see you're very enthusiastic about it, and obviously you made sure that you help put the program together. So what are some of the highlights that people can expect, and what are some of the speakers that sort of really excite you in terms of for delegates to actually listen to?
So we have over almost 200 speakers for this meeting, so I can't name all of them as much as I would love to, but just to name some of the kind of speakers that are attending, we've got the likes of Adrian Bott, who's Chief Scientific Officer from Captain Therapeutics. We've got Christina Coughlin, who's Chief Executive Officer from �CITEauthImmune, and then we have the likes of Bruce Levine as well, so great academic trailblazer in the space. And then some of the kind of new formats that we have for this year. So I mentioned before that we have 8 tracks of content this year. So we had a new track added in, which was the CMC and analytics track. So really excited to have that content covering, you know, thinking about how to have novel CMC strategies or the kind of analytical innovations that are paving the way for, you know, greater understanding of either characterization of cell products or understanding how to really enhance, you know, safety, quality, potency as well. And then we have an investors roundtable session, which is new for this year as well. So that's gathering the likes of kind of venture capitalists, understanding kind of what the priorities are of investors right now, thinking about where the kind of hottest topics or the kind of growth trajectories in the space are, what they're looking to invest into. So really giving a lot of the kind of new startup biotech an understanding of, you know, how to set the company apart and how to really kind of eloquently showcase in their kind of elevator pitches to these investors, for example, the kind of potential that their takes and platforms have as well in the space.
Brilliant. Fantastic. Well, I think my final question is, why should people attend? But I think you've given lots of reasons there actually why people should attend. Is there anything else you'd like to add though about the event before we close up?
I think in understanding why people should attend, probably anyone who's in this space knows that this space is evolving kind of fast, rapidly, constantly. As I mentioned before, we're seeing new companies pop up, we're seeing new data being generated at a really rapid pace as well. And I think as we see that kind of evolution of the cell therapy space grow, I think it's going to be essential to really take into account or kind of capture the kind of full landscape, capture that growth. So, you know, you want to be part of that conversation and not be, you know, left behind and not know where the companies are going and like where the strategies and the innovations are taking place as well. So I think, yeah, essential to be part of the meeting, to really, you want to be part of that mission to drive forward that kind of future of more, you know, accessible curative cell therapies, then yeah, don't want to be missing out on the meeting.
And finally, I mean, I know you only got a limited number of spaces there. So how many delegates have you got sort of confirmed? Not an exact number, but I mean roughly. And also, how many sponsors and exhibitors can people see if they attend in terms of new technologies and so on?
Yeah, so as you said, the numbers growing rapidly day by day. So round about the 1,000 mark for delegates. So really, this is our biggest meeting to date. So really excited to have all the kind of bodies in the room and seeing everyone networking again in person, and over 100 exhibitors as well. So we've got loads of official partners for the meeting. So again, I'm really excited to have them showcase their expertise and thought leadership in the space as well.
Fantastic. Well, look, I will eventually book my flights for next week. I haven't done it yet, but I would have my hotel. So I look forward to hopefully seeing you in person next week in Boston.
Yeah.
But until then, have a fantastic build up to the event.
Thank you so much.
Smoothly, and I look forward to seeing you in person next week.
You too.
And there you go, viewers. So if you are interested or involved in the CAR TCR space, then find out more about the event by checking on the link above the video. I've actually got a discount code, actually, so you can still save some money as well if you book use my discount code. And if you'd like to know more, or if you've got any questions for Rochelle, then put them in the comments below. I'm sure she'll be happy to answer them. And hopefully I'll see you next week at the event in person as well. So Rochelle, happy build up, as I said, and safe
Thank
journey,
you.
a safe flight to the States. And viewers, thank you for watching. Until next time, stay well, stay safe. Bye-bye.